It is turning out to be a pretty nice day. Kind of chilly. It's fall in Maine, finally. And leaves are turning. I did get a new bag for my leaf vacuum, which I'm excited to open and see and hopefully try. But the leaves have been slow to turn. It's still very green around here. And even so, in that case, even slower to fall. So there's not really much to vacuum up yet to put in the shed for next year's garden for mulch. And it's supposed to be rainy today, but the sun is coming out now and it's starting to warm up a little bit. So I'm going to do a couple projects that I've been putting off. Oh, Ziggy wants to come out. Hey dude, why didn't you say something when I was on the way out? Anyway, one of the projects that I've been putting off for a very long time is to rebuild my garden sign filing system. I built one, kind of invented this system a long time ago. Probably, must have been 10 years at this point. And it's worked really well. Essentially, I just have these uprights, and then since my garden signs are all relatively the same size, I just slide them down in here. And I built this system so that I could have this slide back and forth. Doesn't work very well right now because these have been stored outside for a very long time, basically since we moved to this property. So this is all swollen. It's been raining for about a week, but that's the idea basically. And they were all filed alphabetically, but over time they've broken down since they're not pressure treated. When I first built them, they were in a barn, and then when we moved here, I don't have a barn, so the bottoms have rotted, which means that the screws have come out or have loosened. So anyway, I want to take this apart, and I'm going to use a similar system, but I'm going to attach these, instead of having them on uprights, I'm going to attach these to a building. So that's my new idea. We'll see if it works. After spending a little bit longer than I think it should have taken to put the first one on, I decided it might be easier to build the racks in place and then just attach them to the wall. We'll see if that works out. Hey bud, did you get him? Is he still in there? Keep at it. One of the best things about building things for myself is that I can make everything customized. But that can also be a challenge because if everything isn't cookie cutter, you have to make decisions for yourself. In this case, I'm trying to see how many shelves I can fit onto the back of this building, which is the pig house, though right now it's acting as farm stuff storage since I haven't had pigs for a few years.
I want to maximize the number of shelves, but also want to make sure I don't crowd them so much that I can't get the signs in and out without hitting the signs dangling down from the next level. When I built the original freestanding racks, this wasn't a problem. I just made them really tall with lots of wasted space between the levels. That wasted space always bothered me. So, I'm going to take that experience into account and see if I can get things a little more dialed in.
Ziggy, can you stop messing up my organization in there, dude? I realize you found a mouse, but give it a rest. It was definitely a crisp fall day today. I think it's the 19th of October. And fall is doing its best to catch up. Been pretty slow in coming this year, just like everything else. We had a very long-lasting winter, and then summer held on for a long time. It'll be interesting to see if it snows later than normal. But it's supposed to get really cold tonight, and it's very windy right now, you can probably hear. But I do have some cleanup to do in the garden, and it's very windy. And I also want to get my onions put away, and I'm running out of, let's see if I can step in here and be a little quieter. I'm running out of crates for my onions. So I want to use one that I have all my signs in. The other day, or maybe a week or so ago, I put my sign racks, I took them apart and put the racks, rebuilt them on the back of a building, and then as soon as I finished that, I had to rush out to get maybe Beth to swimming or something. I had something to do, and haven't been back since. So I still have a crate full of my signs, and I'm gonna get those put into the rack, the ones that are there, and then as I clean up the garden and pull signs off, I'll be able to put them in there. And we'll see how long it takes to fill it, because I have less space in those racks now than I did before. But anyway, I need that crate, so as always, everything around here is kind of just-in-time manufacturing. So let's get to it.
Since I'm rebuilding the garden sign racks, and that means I'm going to be refiling all the signs, this is a good opportunity to rebuild some of those signs themselves. I built this collection over several years, using scraps of lumber for the stakes. Basically, whatever I could cut off a piece of relatively dimensional slab wood that might have been kicking around after having some lumber sawed, or perhaps something I found in the dumpster of a construction site. That means many of the stakes are different sizes, and some have never fit into the racks properly. It's always annoyed me, and now I have a perfect opportunity to do something about it. So, I'll keep those signs out and spend some time in the workshop on some rainy day this fall, dismantling the signs and trimming the stakes down to size.